Hi all, welcome back to the Great Futures Forge. We are blessed today to have another of our community partners here with us. We've been a part of our organization here in Newark and across the state of New Jersey for a very long time. And me and this gentleman have, I would say, become friends over the last couple of years. He's been very good across New Jersey in terms of supporting organizations like ours, and I want to give an opportunity to introduce himself. But before that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and make sure that you're tuned into the Great Futures Forge because we've got some good stuff coming for you.
Ameer, it's great to be here. I'm Jonathan Pearson. I'm the Executive Director of the Horizon Foundation for New Jersey and also Senior Director of Corporate Social Responsibility, which really means, to your point, we support New Jersey's communities in all 21 counties.
That's right. He has two jobs, unlike others who get to split their foundation and their corporations apart. So John does a lot of work. He's very busy. So we want to start with some of the fun stuff. And we'd like to ask you, what is your absolute favorite food?
My favorite food, so I'm half Italian. I gotta say pasta or macaroni. That's my favorite food. Maybe not the most healthy.
That's just not.
However,
but you look better than I do.
I have to have it at least once a week.
I don't have pasta once a week.
And of the pasta, my favorite is managuat, which is like a long rolled with ricotta cheese with sauce.
It sounds good.
I don't have it that often, but when I have it, that's my favorite.
That sounds really good. I love pasta. So, how do you take your coffee?
Coffee, I like just no sugar, no cream, no milk, and I love espresso. So I like to have it that way. Recently, not too far before that, I was taking with really half and half, but now I just take it just coffee straight up. And
I know that, and I knew that, and I asked that question precisely because I wanted to make a note and say I still like cream and sugar, but I do like an espresso. I take my coffee black sometimes, but it's a transition that I've made once, and I'm trying to remake again. Favorite movie?
That's a great one. I have lots of great movies. Can I give you a few?
Yeah, I will take a few.
All right,
let's see if there are any good classics in there.
I like Shawshank Redemption. It's one of my favorites. I like the Goodfellas, the Casinos, the Godfathers. Yeah. Just watched The Irishman the other night with one of my sons. So I like the Scorsese type movies. But I also like the comedies, like the Caddyshack of the world, and the National Lampoon's, Christmas Vacations, and all those. Coming to America is one of my favorite movies. So I run the gamut, but I would say Shawshank
if you had to pick one.
Yeah, I think so.
What is it about that film that makes you pick that one above others?
I just love the storyline. I like the interpersonal interaction of the cast in that setting, and then obviously how he broke out at the end. Yeah. Just a fascinating movie.
How old was Morgan Freeman in that film?
He looks great. I mean, I don't know.
You know about the running joke, right? That he's like 170 years old.
Yeah, but he always looks the same.
He always looks the same. I don't think he's aging.
Good genes, I guess.
Got to give us the secret to the fountain of youth there.
Absolutely.
If you still watch television, or when you watch television, your favorite TV show?
So I love Seinfeld. I'm a big Seinfeld guy.
My wife is too.
Yeah, I just think it's just a funny show, and I've watched the episodes dozens of times, but I still will watch it and still laugh. So I do like Seinfeld, and I like some of the other stuff on Netflix. Some of the shows on Netflix. Different episodes on different programs, but I don't really watch a lot of TV to be honest. But I'll dabble here and there. Okay. But I would say Seinfeld when it's on. I can't tune out of it.
So while you're watching Netflix, what's your guilty pleasure to eat on?
Man,
Netflix and chill, as they call it.
I try to be good, but I do like ice cream. I do like salts. I like chips.
I don't think I have that favorite ice cream.
Chocolate. Just very plain chocolate.
That's
or gelato. Chocolate gelato.
I like a chocolate gelato. But my favorite gelato right now by Talenti is a Southern Butter Pecan.
Oh, okay.
And my wife always calls me old because I like butter pecan. But it's the best ice cream in the world as far as I'm concerned. So we had a little bit of this chat earlier. We were talking about AI and all the applications. Apple or Android?
I'm a big Apple guy. I've always been an Apple guy. I love their products, their phones, their computers, and I just think their platform is really intuitive, and I love their customer service. So,
I haven't had to use their customer service much, but when they go into the store, everything happens pretty quickly.
It does.
So I can definitely respect
And it's
that.
done the right way.
Yeah. So you've never had an Android?
I've never had an Android phone. I've had
Okay.
PCs in the past,
Yeah.
Dells and other brands.
Okay.
But we kind of migrated over to Apple and haven't really looked back since.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So.
No knock to Google and what you make.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
And I like Google.
Yeah,
So.
we appreciate Google. They've got a great search engine and YouTube. So the draft just took place. It might be a round left. I don't know. We're not going to get into Deion Sanders and his sons today, but
Yes.
who's your NFL team?
So I love college football. I watch
Yeah.
football on Saturdays primarily, but for Sunday, I'll have to say I'm 50-50 Jets and Giants, only because I
Really?
work with both entities.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I love the Jets and the Giants.
The Jets and the Giants.
If they watch this. You may have some board members that are affiliated.
I've got a lot of board members that are with the Giants. Charlie Rubin loves the Jets.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
a Jets
yeah,
fan. You
yeah.
know, he hasn't had a great year too often since Joe Namath, but we won't get into that too deeply. The Yankees or Mets? I already know the answer, but we have to have this on camera so that everyone
Yeah,
will
big
know.
time Yankees fan.
It's the only way to go, as far as
They're
I'm
the
concerned.
gold standard. My father was going to play for the Yankees as a pitcher. He was in their league, in the
Yeah.
minor league program. So before he got hurt, but he was going to be a pitcher for the Yankees.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
Could you imagine what
I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I know you
Because what
probably-
happened was he got hurt, and then he went back to AAA, couldn't throw as hard, and then he went to college, and that's how we met my mother
Wow.
when he got out of athletics.
Oh, you wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be sitting here. So.
Oh, I thought you were saying, I probably live a life of luxury and comfort.
No. I physically wouldn't be
Physically
here.
wouldn't be here.
No. So my mom was a senior. He was a freshman. He was older, and they met at Jersey City University.
That's an incredible story.
Yeah.
I
But
imagine
he was a
that.
Yankee. It was kinda
Life,
cool.
life.
Yeah.
Favorite music, genre, band, or artist? You can answer all
Man.
three. Or you can
I love everything. I really do. From classical to rock to rap to contemporary. I mean, I'm like an old soul. I love like the Frank Sinatras of the world, the Frankie Vallis of the world. But I do listen to Dave Matthews and others. So I mean, I kind of have a large, I say, swath of music.
Yeah.
My sons listen to a lot of rap and stuff, so
Okay.
with them, I'm listening to whatever it is. I don't exactly know what it is because it wasn't what I listened to, like Run DMC and other things.
Yeah.
But I love music and the classical stuff too.
Yeah, the rap music of the day is
jazz,
not there.
Yeah.
There's
So-
a few artists, but yeah, a lot of it's all the same.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, and it's just all of it's too violent. There's not enough variation, particularly in the commercial or the, let's say, mainstream music. I think that's the big problem.
Yeah.
So here's a question: if you could meet one person you've never met before, dead or alive, who would that person be?
So it's funny you say that because another good friend asked me that question not too long ago. Wanted to meet the Pope Francis, and this particular person works for the Pope
Really?
in the Pope's Scholars Program.
Wow.
And she said, I can arrange that. And she did invite me once to go to Rome to meet the Pope, and I just couldn't do it with the family and work
Yeah.
and everything else. But I would at one time in my life love to meet the Pope. Yeah.
So here's a question. Cause I don't think I've ever asked you this. We recently had a nice lunch that turned into like pre-dinner.
Nice dinner.
Right? We were hanging out for a long time. But if you weren't doing the work you're doing with Horizon, what kind of work do you think you'd be doing? Where would you be?
So you have a great job in as much you serve children and families and you take care of young people and serve as their mentor in many ways. I'd be a high school basketball coach.
Really?
I would love to coach. I coached all my sons. I have 3 sons. I coach them in different sports. I would love to coach. Now, that's not going to pay the bills
It's
at
not.
this particular time. And no disrespect to coaches out there, but when you coach young people,
Yeah.
it's just it's so rewarding, and I would love to do that. I stopped coaching. My youngest son Kelly's 16. I stopped coaching him in 8th grade. Got into high school, but I would love to go back in some capacity. I just haven't. That bug hasn't left me.
No, and it's hard. It's hard to get away from it. I coached here, and now one of the former club members who's working here today, Kelly, he's running the basketball league, and I got up there and I see the kids, and I'm like, I start giving him pointers and tips, and I get the itch to go in on practice on Wednesdays, but I go home. I make sure that I leave so that
Well,
I don't
you know,
end
a
up
lot
in
of
there
my
every week.
a lot of the kids I coach now are in college because my older sons are in college and my youngest son. So my youngest son just made his confirmation this Saturday, and we're in the church getting ready, and a lot of people in there, and all these kids are coming up to me. They're like, hey coach, and I coach them all.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of cool. You just have that nice affiliation, and other kids, they're going on to play college sports and stuff. So it's very rewarding, fulfilling, and hopefully, if you could pass something along to them, is the most important thing. So I'm definitely going back. I just don't know when.
Just don't know when.
I just don't know when and where. So
I think I know the answer to this. I'm going to ask it, and I'm not going to like deflect and not allow you to say it. But your favorite place of vacation?
That's a great question. So I think if you live in New Jersey, you have to kind of say the Jersey Shore maybe is the politically correct answer. I don't know. But we just recently got back, as you probably know, I told you, from Italy.
Yes.
And that was just an unbelievable trip. Can't wait to get back there. Just the culture, just the environment, and my heritage is from there. My grandfather's from Salerno, came through Ellis Island, so I have a lot of affinity for my family that's still there. My dad's Irish and Scottish, so I'm proud to be Irish and Scottish as well. My wife's Dutch, so but it's an incredible place, and we'd love to get back there soon.
And I hear the food is just amazing.
Food's amazing, people are amazing, just the stuff you see.
Yeah. The history, I mean, the
Yeah.
Coliseum.
If you're a religious person, which I am, you're if you're Christian or Catholic, and you're in that setting.
Yeah.
It's incredible to be around that.
Yeah,
so,
I just couldn't. I can't wait to go. I couldn't get my wife to choose it for her birthday trip this year. I just paid for a trip to Jamaica this morning. So she came here. She put her phone in front of me with a bunch of numbers. Said, "Can we do this today?" I said, "Yeah, we can do it."
What are you supposed to say? No.
Yeah, I don't know. I could have told her I didn't have it. That would have been a
falsehood.
Yeah, right. If you could go one place you've never been, where would that be?
That's a great question. One place I've never been. I want to get to Hawaii.
Never been there.
Never been to Hawaii.
What's keeping you away? Is it the long flight?
Yeah, I think
Twice
the long.
as long
I
as
think the
Italy.
long flight, especially. I like to always bring my kids.
Yeah.
So it's just managing all that stuff,
Yeah.
and that's an excuse. It's easy to do.
It's an excuse, but it's very expensive to take your kids. My kids have been to Vegas. They're going to Jamaica. They've been to Alabama. One's 2, one's 3.
Yeah.
They're
So they've been in a lot of good places.
The car seat, and you're out of the car seat, so
Yes,
it's easy. They
thank
can
God.
walk.
I'm buying cars now.
Right. I'll wait to get there. I'm not looking forward
rush.
to that. So your kids make you.
Do what my kids make me?
Your kids make you. They're like if you think about your kids make you feel. They make you buy cars.
Yeah, I'm.
You're paying for college.
Yeah, college, and my one's at St. Joe's Metuchen High School, so he's doing great. It's the most incredible blessing you can have, I think. I mean, you have your wife, you have your spouse, that's great, and then you have children. I've always been a big believer in family comes first. So I enjoy. Listen, they get on my nerves. So okay, for people out there, this is not they're not perfect by any stretch, but they're good kids, they're good young men, and they're great to be around. And the biggest thing that I can say as a parent, I'm sure you're going through this and you're seeing it, is when other people say something about your children,
Right.
You're like, okay, we're doing something right. When you get that, hey, your kids are so polite, or your kids are this, your kids are that. And you're like, wait a second, my kid?
Right.
Really?
That one that doesn't listen to the house.
Exactly. So,
There's always, and that's one thing I've learned about kids, now being a father, is that, and they're really small, so they kind of act the same for the most part, but sometimes in the house they act completely different from when they're outside with other people. My little one, she's always smiling. She doesn't throw a lot of tantrums, but in the house, she doesn't get her way, and she's in her no phase, so everything's no. You want to take a bath? No. You want to brush your teeth? No. You want to go to the park? No. It's like, what do you want to do? And then to get her into the tub now, my wife has to say, you want to be a mermaid? Because otherwise she doesn't want to get in the tub.
Well, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do.
So your wife says you are.
Oh, man. If you asked her this morning.
We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
I think my wife will say that I'm a great spouse.
Did she really say that?
I think she would.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you put her on the spot.
Put that to the test.
You know, I'm a pretty low maintenance kind of person.
Yeah.
And she's incredible. She's, you know, the anchor of our household. I think she'll say I'm a good provider. I think she'll say I'm a pain in the you know what
Right.
as well, which I won't say on this program. But I think, you know, we've had a great relationship. We've been married 23 years. It's not perfect, right? But we're a team, and we support each other, and we have fun. And she's my best friend, so
awesome.
I think she'll say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we already said my wife is incredible, so I don't even have to ask you. But if your closest friends described you, what would they say about Jon?
I have friends from preschool that I
Really?
still hang with. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
it's
I
kind
have
of
no one.
really
From preschool,
no.
Got some friends from third grade from the neighborhood.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
but that's
a
great.
long
Yeah,
stretch.
It's like a brother.
Yeah, like a brother, and you don't talk all the time, but when you talk, it's like you get right back into the groove.
Yeah.
I would say my friends will say that I'm a pretty driven person. I'm a funny person. I'm a goofball. I'm an honest person, and someone I think that they can rely on. So
Yeah.
if they need me, I'm there.
That's
so
great.
I hope that's what they will say. But
We hope.
if you get some of the kids from where I grew up,
Yeah, they might say
maybe
something
a
else.
little different
They
story.
have different stories that we leave under the rocks in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
So I haven't gotten a chance to ask this question to
Mhm.
anyone as a part of this section of the podcast, but you have a team at Horizon because I would call you one of the top guys. You're the top guy at the foundation. You're pretty high up in terms of the corporate side of the entity and corporate social responsibility. What would your team say about you?
That's a great question. I have an incredible team. They work tirelessly. They're professional, high quality, just great character. I would think they would say that, you know, Jon walks the walk. Like if he's going to do something, he actually does it as well. He doesn't just delegate to everyone and say, you guys go figure it out. But he kind of leads by example. I hope they would say I'm fair and I'm honest. And I know I am demanding, but it's not in the sense of, you know, do it my way. It's like I want high quality. I want my team to thrive. I want them to grow. So I push a lot of my team members, sometimes out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I think I'm fair. I wouldn't ask someone to do something that I wouldn't do or I haven't done.
Right.
So I hope, and I'm sure there's a saying that I used this year that they've labeled me. So there's two sayings. One is punch it up. So whatever we do, let's punch it up. Let's make it better. Let's grow it. And then the other saying I have is called team glory. So anytime we win, if it's me or someone on the team, it's team glory. We all win. So that's my mantra for the year.
I don't have a mantra for the year except do more.
With less.
With less. I think my team gets a lot. I recently did a 360 review, and so there was only, I think, 2 sections where I gave myself 100. But the team was like,
those are hard,
84.
man, because
right.
You put people in an awkward position. What are they supposed to say?
It was anonymous.
You know who it is.
No, it was completely anonymous. So we did it through a company called Amazing Workplace. And so, you know, I did it and I graded myself. And, you know, on these 2, and I forget what the question was, I was like, I'm definitely sliced bread here. I empower people. I give them all this. Then it came back like 80, 84. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta look at myself now. So,
Yeah, that's good feedback.
No, it was good. And I was happy to see that largely people were happy with what I was doing. Because one of the things I know can happen is, you know, you get into a high position. I'm the CEO here. And so beyond the board, like, there's no one telling me what to do, you know, except on a quarterly basis, and my board president, you know, every now and then through email. And so you can kind of get blinders on to kind of what's going on, we say below you or behind you. So I was like, you know what, let me do a check-in because I've been in this position for 5 years.
Yeah, it's great. Smart.
So, you know, I appreciate, you know, what you heard. I know some of your team members, and I've never heard a bad word.
You do know that. They're terrific.
They're great.
So.
Philomena and Bridget. And
Yes, absolutely.
Sunny at the Thrive Resource Group.
Yeah, the
Great
Affinity Group.
there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know what Horizon is. You know what it is. I've had Horizon Insurance here at Boys and Girls Club at one time. Now I've got my wife's insurance. But many people don't know or probably know what it is who may be watching this because this is a worldwide podcast. And we hope it gets legs in other places. What is Horizon? How would you define Horizon to someone who doesn't know?
So Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey is the state's oldest and largest health insurer and health solutions company. We provide medical insurance, health insurance, dental insurance, and other products and services for individuals, for small employers, for mid-sized companies like yours, for large groups and national customers. So we essentially provide the products to keep your employees, to keep your individuals healthy. And we sell those in the marketplace in all 21 counties here in New Jersey. We have 3.5 million members in the state of New Jersey, and we're one of about 33 independent Blue Cross Blue Shield companies. So we're licensed here in the state of New Jersey to market and brand and sell in all 21 counties. So when you think about health insurance, I mean, the most basic way I can explain it is if you have our coverage, you can go to one of our network doctors or facilities for preventive care or for care that you need for a chronic issue. You can get your labs tested, your blood work tested, your pharmaceutical needs, your dental care. So we provide all of those services for many customers.
Yeah,
since 1932.
Yeah, and New Jersey is a small state from a population standpoint, very dense because we're small, but I mean, 3.5 million is almost half of that population.
Yes.
What makes Horizon different that you've been able to keep that number so high?
So Horizon, I would say we're a company that has a social mission. We've always had that social mission of giving back to the state of New Jersey. We have a very good reputation in the marketplace. And when you look at our competitors, and when you have the Cross and the Shield, the brand of the Cross and Shield, people trust it, they want it. We have a proven track record of customer service and giving back into the community. So all of our employees live and work in New Jersey. Healthcare is local. And we think we have the relationships with all the physicians and hospitals and other providers, whereby we provide the best product, the best service, and the best price. It's very competitive. One of the challenges now and even in the past is affordability. The affordability piece, healthcare continues to rise, the costs are getting higher. So we're always trying to come up with innovative solutions around products, around how we provide services to our members to kind of keep the affordability top of mind.
So this is a question that I didn't plan, but you talked about affordability, and there's obviously stuff going on in the media, and it's been for years, about the quality of healthcare, what you get for your money. What is, in your opinion, or maybe you know this from a data point, what's driving the affordability issue? Is it cost on your side? Is it the providers? Is it just the marketplace, or just the cost of everything going up?
That's a great question. It's a complex question, and it's almost, to your point, almost everything. So in New Jersey, we have an older population. We have a more chronic population, particularly in certain markets. So that's going to drive utilization, which drives cost.
Right.
Whether it's in a hospital setting, whether it's managing their chronic disease that needs daily maintenance, whatever that may be, whether it's a pharmaceutical drug, etc. You also have the cost of different hospital systems or providers. There's always a negotiation between Horizon and our providers, and we're always trying to make sure that we get the best value for our members.
Right.
So we're trying to negotiate better rates so our products can be more cost effective. But it's a very difficult market. When you get into some of the Medicare business or the Medicaid business, those are reimbursed differently.
Right.
So a lot that comes out of Trenton, a lot that comes out of DC has an impact on us as a very regulated company. You also have some of these new drugs that are addressing diabetes and obesity, very costly drugs. So the pharmaceutical piece is becoming a growing kind of cost of your. So say you take $1, what's the healthcare cost? About 25% is the pharmaceutical cost. And then you have the inpatient hospital stay and other services. So at the end of the day, Horizon, every dollar we collect, we make about 1% margin, which is 1 penny.
Yeah, I was looking that up.
That's what we do. In bad years, we lose money.
Yeah,
we lose money. So
and again, I don't mean to stay on this topic so deeply, but I think it's important to a certain extent, because I think Horizon, if I'm not mistaken, is a nonprofit organization itself, right? So you're not a for-profit entity. You talk about having a mission. So I think it's important to touch on the fact that your profit margin is so small, because sometimes people look at healthcare companies as these profit-making entities. 1% margin. I mean, like, how dangerous is it operating that way?
It's critically important to have good actuarial and good people in finance that can forecast. But any little thing with COVID, right? No one budgeted for COVID. COVID hit us in March 2020, so the impact of that lasted multiple years. So you have a lot of different things that can impact when you put risk in the marketplace. When we underwrite or we collect revenue from companies, we kind of measure what that may cost to insure them, and that may be a lot different than when the claims come in. So it's a difficult business. We do not make significant bottom line in terms of net profit, but we are competitive, and it's in the industry. It's not just us; the industry kind of feels that as well. Yeah. So it's not just a Horizon issue; it's other competitors, not only in New Jersey but even nationally.
Right. So here's a question I like to ask everyone: you've been in this business for a long time, and probability that you're going to retire as a member of Horizon. If you had a magic wand today to come in and fix a problem, one problem, what would that be to improve the healthcare?
So I hope I can stay for the rest of my career. I got a little way to go.
A little bit.
So if anyone's watching from the C-suite, no, I'm kidding. I love the company. I love what we represent. I love what we do. So that's what keeps me here, really. We help people every day. So that's the core thing that I enjoy. If we had a problem to fix, I wouldn't necessarily say there's problems, but there are probably unnecessary things that happen within healthcare that creates a lot of waste of resources. So how can we more effectively redeploy those dollars into some areas that would have a better impact, better benefit for our members, for communities, for even the hospitals and providers? That would be my kind of magic wand, if you will. Because when you look at it nationally, I think there's some really huge statistics. Something like $300 or $400 billion is waste within the system itself.
That's a lot.
Right? That's at the national level.
Yeah.
So how can we get rid of? How can we redeploy those dollars?
Yeah, because those dollars could be used as a place that I was going, which is the Horizon Foundation. Makes investment into community. It's been around for 20 years. Why did Horizon make that decision to start funding organizations like ours, other organizations in the community, to support their initiatives?
Yeah, we're proud of the foundation. I was proud to be part of it when it was created, and I'm proud to lead it as the executive director. We have a chairman. Our CEO is the chairman of the board, Gary St. Hilaire. So we have a terrific board internally, and we have outside directors. The company's always had a social mission. I think I said that earlier. Always giving back, Newark and all around the state. So the idea under one of our CEOs to create a foundation to really formalize what we do and put a structure around it, to have an impact, right? To focus in on areas that we see in the environment that people are having a challenge, whatever that may be, and being responsive to those needs. And also our members. We have 3.5 million members. We want to be active and local in those communities. So it's been a terrific 20 years. We're in our 21st year now of operation. We've given out just about $80 million over that time, and almost 2,000 grant awards over that time. So
that's incredible.
It's been a pleasure, and it's one of the great things that we do at the company, I believe.
Yeah. No, I think so too, and I think back to the Horizon Beam program, which was Breathe Easy through Asset Management, and that was a program we were part of. And now you talked about COVID earlier, which really didn't say create the knowledge about it, but really shed a light on mental health. And your organization and Blue Cross across the country have invested deeply in Boys and Girls Clubs mental health program. Why did you guys make that decision?
Yeah, that was an interesting activity. When you look at the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association, all the independent plans, we all came together on this $10 million initiative over 4 years with Boys and Girls Clubs nationally. Yep. So for us locally in New Jersey, we have a strong relationship with not only you and your club, but the other clubs in the state. So when that was decided, we felt really good about it locally. As you talked about COVID and coming through it, and we're still seeing effects from it.
Yeah.
Right? Not maybe as significant, but I think it shined a light on a number of things, including mental health. When you have, individuals, whether it's adults, seniors, children in your particular case, serving here at your club, in our initiative, kids are more lonely. They're more isolated. They had to stay at home to go to school. So there was a breakdown of, I think, of the fabric of what your community is, as an individual, as a kid. And you see the stats jump up. About 50% of individuals suffer from some mental health issue.
Yeah, some point in their
anxiety,
life.
or depression. So at Horizon, we, if you're a customer or not a customer, we want to make sure we're helping the entire person, physically and mentally. So we look at holistically, how do we help the whole person?
Yeah.
Stigma is a big part of it too. Stigma is a huge part of it, and it's a barrier that we got to continue to work on, so individuals get the care that they need and they can move on and get past it. So, but we love the program. We love that you guys are leading it as one of the kind of training centers in the country, and we think there's a need there, and we hope in 4 years when we look back, we've had a significant impact.
It's great, and I want to mention that. So, Boys and Girls Club of America has really dipped its toe into mental health as an initiative. I would say, in a lot of ways, we're ahead of the game. We put our wellness center here at the clubhouse in 2015, but I know these big national partnerships, everything takes time. There's conversations. What is it about Boys and Girls Clubs nationally or locally or both that I think drew the Blue Cross family to us?
Yeah, I think many things. Your reputation in New Jersey, nationally, in other markets, your scale. I think there's like 5,000 plus clubs in the country.
5,500 now.
So
keeps going up. Jim Clark won't stop.
Yeah, that's good. The leadership at the national level, the leadership at the local level. You're a trusted entity, right, in the community. Kids want to be here, and you have a great track record. So I think there's many great attributes of the clubs. And when you look at your competitors, if you will, in the space, you have some pretty significant competitors. So to make the award and the investment and build a relationship with the clubs, I think the Blues, when we found out that you're one of the finalists, it was music to our ears, because we knew the investment and the relationships were there, and it will be successful.
So you mentioned this a little bit, but what do you hope to accomplish through the partnership? Like, what do you want to see happen, for Horizon and maybe even Blue Cross, if you know the entire association's thought process around it? What do you guys hope to see happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a few things. We talked about stigma a minute ago. Let's address that. Let's knock that barrier down fully. If families and children need the help, they should raise their hand. There should be people that can identify children that need the help, right? And identify that. Address the whole body, right? Their physical and their mental well-being. Make sure that the kids that you serve get all the resources that they need to address all of those challenges that they may have, including the mental health challenge. Create more awareness about this issue. Right? We know it impacts 1 in 2 people. That's the data.
It's a huge.
So it's
huge
all around
statistic.
us.
Yeah.
So just be aware of it. Be cognizant of it. Be cognizant of your neighbor, your schoolmates, whoever it may be. I think that's a big piece. The awareness piece is another critical piece. And I think if we get through some of those things, you'll start to see improvement. You'll start to see individuals get the help that they need when they need it, and to kind of move through that process.
Yeah. So the world has changed a lot. I think you grew up before there were cell phones. I grew up as cell phones were coming out, so you're a little older than I am. Still
Yeah,
got
my one friend had a
little more
cell
hair,
phone when he was 17,
Really?
and it was like a suitcase in his car. So you can't use it.
I remember those.
It costs like $100 for a phone call.
And then even the car phones. Everybody has a phone in their car now, but it's not attached to the car. It has those wires and stuff. But if you could speak to young people across the country here in New Jersey, what would you tell them? I mean, just about life, just about their mental health, taking care of themselves.
That's a great question. I would say that young people should continue to have, a great outlook on life. Continue to be positive in what you do. I would also say that look for mentors in your life, and whether that's your family, your parents, other people in your life that can help guide you and provide the guidance that you may need, and really, tackle something that gives you joy, whatever that may be, whether it's sports, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's certain subjects in school. If you have an affinity for those things, when you do it at 100%, and pursue it, and love it, and enjoy it. Life is terrific. There's a lot of challenges in the world. We all face them every day. But I think just be positive, be thoughtful, and be respectful, and really look at it, the glass half full, not half empty.
That's right.
And I think kids will be okay. It's difficult. These kids are. Doesn't matter where you come from. We touch kids in all different scenarios. They all have very similar issues or challenges.
Yes.
So I think us as their their parent or their neighbor, give the time that they need. And like I said to you in church the other day, all these kids are coming up to me. I coached them.
Yeah.
I must have touched them in a different way, right? So give the time that you need to them. Show them that you care. Show them that you're there for them. One of the things that gives me joy now later in my career is I get a lot of people that come to me and say, "Hey, can you be my mentor? Can you talk to me about certain things? Can you talk to this person about their career?" I'll always do that. Not just a way to give back, but it's like, well, I want to help people.
Yeah.
And I may not be able to say, here's a job,
Right.
but here's a way to get to what you're trying to do. And I think that's so important. I think people really should take the time and invest in young people, in whatever role that they have.
Yeah. I agree with that 100% because I think for me, I grew up in Newark. I grew up in a single parent household. My dad passed away when I was young, and it was other people that I was around that were pouring into me, sharing their knowledge, while my mother was at work earning for the family. And sometimes she worked 2 jobs, so if you would get home until after 9 o'clock, we were here at the Boys and Girls Club. And so the last thing I'll ask you is there anything else you'd like to share about Horizon, or to just share that, maybe someone would benefit from hearing?
Well, I think from a Horizon standpoint, we're here, we're local, we're here to help the communities that we serve, all 21 counties. So if you're a customer out there, we love you, we'll take care of you. If you need us, we're there for you and your family. Me personally, I think I shared with you, I'm from Newark as well. And I really proud of being from this community. I have a lot of great memories in this community. So people should be proud of where they're from, wherever that is, and give back to that community where and when you can. So kind of keep paying it forward.
Yeah. So we started this last time with one of our youth members, and I'd like to turn to you. Is there anything you'd like to ask me before we wrap? It doesn't have to
That's
be related.
a loaded question.
It doesn't have to be related to Horizon, or it could be anything.
How's your golf game these days?
My golf game
joke.
is, so are we talking about pure game or a scramble?
Pure game.
Pure game, I'm probably still shooting at about 100, a little over. I won't say exactly what the number is if it's
Okay.
clean. But my driver, I make consistent contact. I got to fix the slice. My putting is very good. Now, I'll tell you this secret, and we were talking about it a little bit, but I'm much better on a very expensive, high quality putting green than I am on the slow or inconsistent green. I hit 4 birdies in a scramble at Trump Bedminster
Nice.
last week. So it's really fun. So I'm getting better. I'm committed to getting lessons this year.
Okay.
And I was told by a good friend to get one once a month. Don't try to go crazy, but just fix something here or there and then watch the number go down. But I am shooting what Sherrod Madison, our board chair, calls client golf. So I'm at 100.
All
Get
right,
out there with
good.
me. I won't
So
keep
you can
up
get around.
more than 4.5, maybe 5 hours.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Good,
I
man.
love the
I
game.
look forward to playing with you
Likewise.
this summer or spring.
Spring,
Still
summer,
spring.
fall. If it rains, I stay out there in the drizzle. I love golf. But John, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Man. This is great.
And thank you to Horizon. We are happy to continue to be a partner, to be supported with our mental health program. We'll have about 50 to 60 individuals from the Northeast here training with us in our trauma-informed intensive to make sure that our team members across the Northeast and across the country get the knowledge they need to provide support. We can't do our work without partners like Horizon, Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey here, and so we're thankful for their support that they've given us, and we hope to continue to work with them and other organizations to make sure that young people, their families, and everyone in our community has the healthcare support that they need, the help they need, the mental health support that's so huge, and just having your mental faculties at 100%, your emotional well-being, and don't take it lightly. As John mentioned, as we know, 50% of people at some point in their lives at any moment in time are going to have a mental health challenge. It doesn't matter whether it's anxiety, depression, whether it's a deep diagnosable condition that you may have, or a friend, and it's really paying attention to people and looking for signs that sometimes may be difficult to see, but training and information that's out there can help you do that. But take care of yourself and your mental health. It's nothing wrong with saying that you need help. And we'll be back with you very soon. So thank you for tuning in to the Great Futures Forge. I'm your host, Ameer Washington. Click the like button, subscribe. And if you're here in New Jersey, visit Horizon's website and find out what they might be able to do for you. Until next time, have a good one.